Welcome to SARE Nutritional Therapy. I'm your host, T.L. Matthew. I'm the founder of Some Foods, the maker of Some Sweet, and also a nutritional therapist. On this broadcast, we talk about health news and information as it applies to your everyday life. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. Yes, that means like the video. And we want to hear from you. So comment if you have something that you want to share with us. And subscribe to all of our social medias. And now, on to the broadcast. Well, hello. Now, I don't know what's going on with my screen here today. It looks really different. It looks weird today. But anyway, so I want to welcome everyone to the broadcast today. I am Teresa T.L. Matthew. I am, again, the founder and CEO of of Some Foods, the maker of Some Sweet, and the nutritional therapist at SARE Nutritional Therapy. That stands for Sugar Addiction is Real. So don't mind me if I'm looking around here and looking kind of crazy. It's because, like, I'm used to having a bigger image and picture and things that I can see. Um, Looks a lot different. And so I'm not really sure what's going on here. But nonetheless, I just want to welcome you all. Thank you for joining me. If, let's see. So you go ahead and let me know where you are, where you're watching this at. If you're watching this on HAPS, your comments will probably come across so I can see them. If not, I would probably I'll have to go in and check the other places. But I have seen it kind of gathering the comments and bringing everything over here for me. But nonetheless, what we're going to talk about today, I'm over here pushing stuff, clicking on stuff over here. So I guess I'll just stop and leave that alone and wait till later to try and figure something else out. But I hate when stuff changes and I didn't know that it was going to change. That's my little heater. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me turn that off there because I'm a little chilly. So that's just me. But anyway, so welcome. Today we're going to be talking about can electrolyte imbalance kill you? Woo, I was kind of concerned about that. It was like saying kill you. It's like, oh, in this day and age, last thing we want to hear some more things about something like that. But can electrolyte imbalance, can it be fatal? You know, I've said here before that I had experienced some severe electrolyte issues when I was doing keto, and so then that brought up some questions from some people about the electrolyte issues that I was experiencing, and why do I say that when I stopped, and what was the big deal about it, and why did I stop keto? Well, the big deal about it is that the thing about it and how you actually can experience electrolyte imbalance, and a lot of people do experience that with keto, is because, well, first of all, let's go and let's just talk about what electrolytes are and the importance of them, and then we'll dive into the rest of it. So why are electrolytes important? I know we've heard about Gatorade and drinking Gatorade, or maybe coconut water. When you have electrolyte issues, everybody's always saying get more, to get your potassium in or to replace your salts because you sweat it out when you're exercising. That's why most people think about the Gatorade, because that's what the picture shows, right? The commercials and the advertisements show that. But that's not the only way that you can experience an electrolyte imbalance. You don't sweat them out all the time, especially if you're not like really physically active. And so I know that a lot of the people that I talk to are not physically active like that, so they're not running around sweating out all their electrolytes the way that an athlete would do. And an athlete would want to drink that, because we're gonna discuss why they would want to drink those things and replace their electrolytes too. But with when you're on keto, right? So you will experience the electrolyte issues with that diet, because your body changes the way it handles electrolytes and water. And so that means when you switch from that standard carb diet to the ketogenic one, electrolyte you lose your electrolytes and dehydration happens. And the way that that happens is because once you are in a ketogenic state, once you are once you're there, what the process of getting there, you're going to pee a lot. So you're going to basically pee out all of your electrolytes. Now, I know people who experience high blood pressure, and they take the high blood pressure pill, the one that, or maybe they take the one that has a diuretic in it, or maybe they take a separate water pill, right? That's to get the fluid off of your body. They can experience dehydration and then experience electrolyte issues as well. So that's why I say that that you don't only have to sweat them out. You don't only sweat out your electrolytes, but you could pee them out. Those, you're gonna either it's basically getting all the fluid out of your body. So that's what's gonna happen. So you're gonna get all the fluid out of your body. Let me make sure that I'm still here, because I saw this thing blink, and make sure that my internet is still good. All right, great. Let me undo this, because we don't need you anymore. All right. So I don't have two things running in the background there. So yeah, so when you take those medications, or if you're in keto, you're gonna urinate a lot, you're gonna pee a lot. And so then that's gonna cause you to have electrolyte issues, because first of all, you will pee out all your electrolytes, right? With keto, you're not quickly replacing them, because you're no longer on a high carbohydrate diet, which is going to store the water in your body and store those electrolytes along with them. So you're not quickly replacing them, and so you experience those issues. When you are maybe with other illnesses, diabetes being one. Diabetics urinate frequently. So, they're going all the time, constantly. Frequent urination is a sign of diabetes. So frequent urination, along with uh, high thirst, or frequently drinking fluids, but you're going to drink water. So that frequently drinking of the water, along with the frequent urination, which makes you're peeing out your electrolytes, then you're filling up with water, and then you don't have any remaining glycogen stores or electrolytes within your body, and you're just filling up with water without electrolytes. And so let's talk about what those electrolytes are. So what are electrolytes? Electrolytes are minerals that carry an electric charge when dissolved in your bodily fluids, be it blood, urine, or sweat. They are found in two locations within the body: inside your cells, within the intracellular fluid, which is abbreviated ICF, or outside of your cells in the extracellular fluid, ECF. So, outside of the cells, the major electrolytes are sodium and chloride. Inside of the cells, the major electrolytes are potassium and phosphates. So, on top of those two, those what we'll call four dominant electrolytes, we also have magnesium, calcium, and bicarbonate. And all of these play an important role as well. So while electrolytes may seem like like a minor part of the bodily function. They're actually pretty crucial. Um, they're crucial moment by moment. You must be in electrolyte balance. So the question is, can it be fatal? Well, does that sound like it could be fatal? You know, why do we need the electrolytes? Because again, these are the minerals that carry an electrical charge, and because of this, they keep the electric tissues of our body. I see myself fading out here. I don't know why it's doing that, but they keep the electric tissues of our body um, operational. That's the neurons and your muscle tissue. So that's why it's important. Your brain fires off the neurons in your muscle tissues within your body, right? So, without sufficient electrolytes aiding in these electrical currents, so we do have electricity flowing through our body, we have enough to keep us alive. That's why, that's why they, to get the heart beating, with if somebody goes into a cardiac arrest, they, put those, charge the paddles and, shock the body, because we have electrical currents in our body. Okay. So, but without sufficient electrolytes aiding these electrical currents, it would be impossible for us to move, for us to think, or to even feel. And if we can't move, we can't think, and we can't feel, what are we? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Our lives depend on this electricity. So, and that's the electricity that's given off by the electrolytes. So that's why I said that when I was doing keto, I experienced electrolyte imbalance, and it was enough for me to be like, to stop, because I had, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. I'll get into that. For example, um, when your muscles contract, you know, your abs or your biceps or your your heart, it's a muscle, right? So our lives depend on the electricity, right? So the contraction of your muscles, whether it's your heart or your biceps, depends on the electrical charge of potassium, sodium, and calcium. So if the muscle cells and their surrounding areas have low levels of these important electrolytes, your muscles won't be responding as you'd like them to, and even your heart muscle could get weaker. So remember, I said I was experiencing heart palpitations and numbness and tingling in my extremities. So that's the reason why I was like, nope, can't do keto, because I could not get my electrolytes under control. So, um, and that, what that meant was that I was at risk for a heart attack, because if your heart doesn't contract correctly, or if you're having irregular electrical currents due to electrolyte imbalance, that puts you at risk for a heart attack. So, um, so certain hormones within the body help, along with the help of our kidneys, helps to maintain electrolyte balance in the body. But dehydration, remember, because I said that's why people would experience this if you get dehydrated, because you're urinating a lot, frequent urination, such as those with diabetes would experience frequent urination. Those who take high blood pressure pills that have a diuretic in it, or that take a separate diuretic, what they just simply call a water pill, then that's gonna cause you to urinate a lot. And so that's going to lead to dehydration. So that's another way that you get the electrolyte imbalance. But then on the other hand, like I said, with those with diabetes, when they have frequent urination, they also have frequent thirst. And that leads to overhydration, or sort of like you just watering down the amount of electrolytes if they have any. So the overhydration will disturb your electrolyte balance as well. So, and again, that can lead to cardiac arrest and brain damage if it's not taken care of. So let's talk about how can you tell if you're deficient. Now, I said for me, when I was experiencing electrolyte issues, I was having numbness and tingling in my extremities. That was a concern because, like, I just sort of had this weird feeling um, in my feet, and in my fingertips. Now, I know for a lot, I know that because I ate a lot of sugar, my first thought was that, is this something related to diabetes? And I kept thinking that. Um, and I was thinking that. But the simple fact was, is I was coming off of, I was on keto. And so I was trying to, I was trying to, I was trying to find a way to balance that because I was on keto. And I'm sorry that the camera looks like it keeps going fading in and out. I don't know what to do about that. It just kind of looks like it's going in and out. So you guys let me know. Y'all let me know if you can still see me okay and if everything's okay. Um, but anyway, but I was trying to get that under balance, and I just was having a hard time with it, doing that. So, and it has started out just very. It started out gradually. It wasn't like all at one time. I just knew that I was. Um, the first thing I had was Charlie horses, right? So I was getting Charlie horses in my leg, and I hadn't had those since forever. And I was getting those in my leg, and I thought, I knew that that was a sign of low potassium. So I started working on trying to build up my potassium and get enough potassium. And I was doing that. I was using cream of tartar, and I would just mix that in with something that I would drink. It's cream of tartar sort of has like a citrusy kind of taste. It's tart, right? And so I would mix that in with something and drink that, so that I was trying to get potassium by utilizing cream of tartar. Um, and so then that would help, to alleviate the Charlie horses. But then I began to experience some other things. Like I said, the numbness, the tingling in the extremities. And then I was okay. So then I'm experiencing some magnesium deficiencies. And I wasn't really concerned about salt because I believed I would probably get enough salt through the things that I would eat. So sodium imbalance was not really the issue that I felt like I was experiencing. But because of that, then I would try to, supplement with magnesium. And but I couldn't, but I wasn't really getting enough potassium, and I was not getting enough magnesium. So things just progressed to get a little bit worse and worse. So, so let's talk about, how do you know? How can you tell? Well, the first thing that you might, like I experienced, was um, I noticed that I was dehydrated because, like I said, I was in keto, so I had peed, and I was doing that a lot. Um, but then I was also, like I said, the numbness and the tingling and the muscle cramps. But then the heart palpitations started. So then I knew that something was really going on. So again, if you're experiencing um, electrolyte imbalances, you want to know. I'm sorry, give me a second here. I'm trying to pull up one of my screens here, and this is not wanting to move. It's like everything is like frozen on me. But yeah, so okay, so with your you can become Am I still there? Hello? Can you guys see me? Am I frozen? Okay. Okay, so how do you know if you have an electrolyte imbalance? First of all, you will run into that if you pee a lot, um, if you experience the pain, muscle cramps anywhere in your body, chances are you're gonna have an electrolyte imbalance. That can be possible. You will experience maybe dizziness. Again, like I said, the irregular heartbeat, mental confusion. I'm like, I don't know if you guys can hear him. I'm like, he should be outside. But mental confusion could be a sign of electrolyte imbalance. Let's see. Those are like the key main things that you will experience. Face it, when you get dizzy, you're going to want to know why you're dizzy. When you experience muscle cramps, you're going to be like, what's going on? If your heart starts beating funny, you're going to definitely be concerned about that. I mean, that's basically life or death if your heart starts beating crazy. And the mental confusion, would be um, you would just be totally confused. So there would be all of these are concern and would bring up would make you seek help, medical help, almost immediately, especially the muscle cramps. They are excruciating. So I mean, of course the heartbeat is is bad too, but all of these will make you will will draw your attention. So it's not like it's something that you can ignore with the electrolyte imbalance. And that's why with my when I was tried the keto, that I was like, okay, this isn't working. That's why I was very aware, because I could feel my heart beating and all that kind of beating erratically. Okay, palpitations. So electrolyte concentrations, your electrolytes can dip if you become dehydrated from exercise, if you're sweating heavily, if you vomit, if you have diarrhea, um, if you are intoxicated or you get drunk, or or if you're starving. Those are things that can cause electrolyte imbalance, or it can cause your electrolytes to get out, well, imbalance, can cause dips in your electrolytes. Um, so low electrolyte levels um, are what you would experience. So, and sometimes you'll have a general sense of fatigue. Um, Sometimes you will have, also you can get headaches, right? So you can get headaches, wooziness, lightheadedness, nausea, sluggishness. Those are all things that can happen if you experience the electrolyte, dips in your electrolytes. So it just depends on which one of the electrolytes that you experience the problem with, right? So wherever you're having the dips, it will kind of help determine, you'll experience different symptoms. And I say that because each those electrolytes, they have different functions. Each one of them has their own unique function in your body. So let's start at the top. Most of us get plenty of this electrolyte, and that's sodium. Sometimes we get too much sodium. So sodium is the main ion that's present in the extracellular fluid. Remember that we talked about that, the ECF fluid. So sodium has a high critical role in maintaining what is called the osmotic pressure gradient. It exists between the inside of the cells and their surrounding environment. So sodium comprises about 90% of the extracellular positively charged minerals, and it plays a very important role in electrical impulse transmission. So, that's what's necessary to make things go right. So, um, sodium plays a role in pH regulation, as well as some involvement in regulating cell membrane permeability. So, sodium is very important. We tend to get too much of it. We do have in our diet a lot of sodium, so much so that a lot of us, especially if you have high blood pressure, are seeking to find low sodium foods because sodium it naturally occurs in food as well. So the next one is potassium. So we've heard a lot about potassium. We know where we can find potassium, like avocados are high in potassium, like just naturally occurring in food. Avocados are high in potassium. Bananas are high in potassium. So we have ideas about where we can find potassium. But potassium is the main intracellular mineral present in the body. So potassium has a major role in regulating muscle contraction. So remember, I said I was experiencing leg cramps, and I was going, "Oh, I'm low in potassium. I need some potassium." So it plays an important role in maintaining the proper function of the heart muscle, ensuring it contracts and relaxes properly. Potassium also plays a minor role in maintaining proper pH. So the thing about it, your body, is when you're low on potassium, when you start out being low, your body naturally goes to take the resource that it needs to keep the heart beating from the part of the body that is furthest away from your heart, right? So when I was experiencing those leg cramps, it was because my body was sourcing the potassium, keeping it away from the legs, pulling it from wherever it can get it, taking it from the legs to, or not allowing the legs to get it because it's going to keep the heart beating. So I would experience those leg cramps. And so, but eventually when I got to, and I would experience the leg cramps like at night, but during the daytime, I would experience the palpitations. So but anyways, but I mean that's just kind of how it happened for me, and I know with everybody it's different, but that's kind of how it happened for me. And I knew that, and it didn't start with the legs, it started with the toes because my toes would get cramped. So they would get a little cramp, so the cramps would start in the toes and work its way up to the calf. And by the time when it hit the calf, or like my foot would arch like this, right, and then it would just like kind of be frozen, or my toe would be frozen like that or something. And by the time when it reached you see, it would start there, and I probably would ignore it for like a day or two, be like just flex my foot out or something like that and keep pushing. But then by the time it hit the calf, I couldn't ignore that, and it was like, I need potassium, let me go get this, because I couldn't get it's hard to get Charlie horses out, especially once it really locks up, right? But anyway, so that was potassium. The next one is chloride. So chloride is another major extracellular mineral that, like sodium, plays a role in maintaining proper extracellular fluid volume and osmotic pressure between the ICF and the ECF. The next one is calcium. So calcium, the majority of calcium in the body is contained in the bones and in the teeth, right? So and so we pay a lot of attention to that because of the teeth and bones and stuff like that. That's what we always think about. But it's largely what makes the bones hard and serves as a mineral reserve for the rest of the body. But calcium ions are necessary for muscle contraction, so enzyme activity and blood coagulation, as well as stabilizing cell membranes and for the release of neurotransmitters. So calcium is just more important than just our bones and than our bones and our teeth. But that's what we mostly think about when we think about calcium. We want strong bones, you know, beautiful teeth. We want to keep our teeth. So we think about calcium there, but we don't think about calcium in other ways and how else it plays a role in the body. Bicarbonate, bicarb, however, is a negatively charged molecule and byproduct of your metabolism. So it's a major component of your blood and serves your buffer system, carbonic acid, working to maintain your body's acid base, your pH balance again. So we want to be in balance, and bicarb is important for that. Phosphate. So most phosphates are bound in bone and teeth as part of the calcium phosphate salts. So phosphates play an important role as a component of lipids, and that's like fat, which also makes up cell membranes, ATP, crucial molecules called nucleotides, and participates in the crucial buffering activity like those mentioned above. Now, here's the thing. Bicarbonate, I know most of our minds probably went to sodium bicarbonate, which is what, baking soda, and phosphates. There are phosphates um, that are sodas that are rich in phosphates, and too much phosphates are not good. It has a negative effect on your bones. So drinking a lot of colas and things like that have a negative effect on your bones. But those are the things that we those are the minerals that we need and for recovery. So how do you recover when you've exercised, when you pee too much, or you sweated too much or whatever? How do you recover? So replenishing your water and electrolyte losses after you experience whatever that, say you were exercising, you were training, that's important for your recovery. So particularly when um, you want to make sure that you do it, especially if you're losing like 2 liters of fluid and the accompanying electrolytes, you want to make sure that you replenish those. So you want to check your hydration status, you know, um, because you can lose your electrolytes pretty quickly, like I said. So, and don't drink too much water. Don't overdrink because you will get something called hyponatremia. And that is when you drink too much water. I know people say you can't drink too much water, but you can. You only need, like, if you have depleted what you need daily, we should drink um, 8 ounce glasses of water, which is 64 ounces, or I think 2 liters. I think 2 liters might be that, because this is 500 milliliters, which is like, so if you drink 4 bottles of water, that's all that's what you need per day. And drink less, um, um, if you drink more than that, you can drink more than that if you've been deplenished, but you don't want to drink too much more than that, because you could overhydrate, and that's going to dilute your blood, and that's going to cause levels of your sodium, potassium, and other electrolytes to fall and flood. So you don't want to drink too much water. So so what you just want to top it off. You want to drink enough to top it off, and you want to top off your electrolyte levels. You want to bring them back up, because again, electrolytes are found in the foods that we eat. So we usually don't have to worry about them. It's just only the strenuous exercise, or having some sort of condition that causes you to urinate a lot, is when we have to worry about that. So we can top off our electrolytes by drinking something that will deliver electrolytes into our system fast. That would be like the sports drinks, but I don't really encourage the sports drinks because they have a lot of sugar in them, and that's not really what you. I'll tell you something you could do to make your own electrolyte drink, but those sports drinks that are out there, I don't want to name them because I don't want nobody getting mad at me, but they have too much sugar in them, so that's not really one that I would say to drink. But you could top off your electrolytes by just eating some food, spinach, fruits, avocados, olives, bananas. We know those are rich in potassium. Some root vegetables, a sweet potato or something like that. Some yogurt or cheese, beans, lentils. Those kind of things. To top off our electrolytes. Have a handful of nuts or some seeds. That's how we can begin to top off our electrolytes. Again, so the sports drinks, stay away from because they have too much sugar. But you can get electrolytes from milk. You want to drink something, you want to deliver it fast. You can if you can drink milk, you can drink that. Coconut water, excellent, excellent, excellent for electrolytes. Beet juice. I know people probably don't like. I don't know beet juice, but tomato juice, or maybe some other plant-based milks. That's probably fortified with magnesium and potassium. So those are some options, but you don't necessarily have to reach for that sports drink. So and you can make your own. So quickly, I'm just going to share with you how you can make your own. So if you want to make your own, you can take any juice, berry, orange juice, apple juice, and you know how I feel about juices now. Really, you need to cut those juices in half. So you want to have half of the juice and half water because they're really, really sweet. And sometimes too natural. They're naturally sweet, but too sweet. And so if you have blood sugar issues, you don't really want to do that. But you could get you some berry juices now. A berry juice or an orange juice or an apple juice or pineapple juice, something like that. Those fruit juices, they're gonna contain some potassium and sodium naturally. So you can do that. Let's see, and you can add a little extra salt to it. So that would be your DIY drink. Remember, I said I added because I know that I was not getting enough potassium. I added cream of tartar to my juices, but well, not even juices. So what I did was I took a Kool-Aid packet mix, and I mixed some cream of tartar and some salt with that to make up my own electrolyte drink. So that's what I did. But then when I started to experience the magnesium issues, I then took the salt. I took the Kool-Aid mix, the salt, the cream of tartar, and then I got magnesium, and I mixed that together, and then I would drink that. And the ratios would be on the package, so I can't really quote the ratios right now, but that's what I did. So if you want to create a liter of your own sports drink mix, keep it chill for when you're ready. You can mix about 250 milliliters. And let's see, for reference, this bottle, because we all know what these are, this is 500 milliliters. So and this is 16 ounces. So if you're going to take 250 milliliters, um, you would want to take like half of this bottle of juice, right? So you want to mix half of that with 750 milliliters of water because we're trying to water down for the sugar. So that would be like 1.5 of these filled with water, and then 1 gram of table salt. And when you use your salt, you want to look at your salt. I would use a salt that doesn't have anything extra in it. So I would say, like, if you use like sea salt or Himalayan pink salt or something, you want a pure salt, not some of the table salts have other added ingredients to them. So, but you would just want to do that. So that would be like 250 milliliters of fruit juice. And I know people are going to say, well, what the heck are milliliters? Because I formulate a lot, so I use milliliters. I use milliliters a lot. So let me see, 250 mils to ounces. If I go by and give you the ounces for that, um, So that's going to be 8 ounces. So we talked about that. So that's going to be half of this bottle. So that's going to be 8 ounces. You want 8 ounces of water, and I mean 8 ounces of fruit juice, and then you're going to go 750 milliliters, and that's going to be 25 ounces of water. So 8 ounces is 1 cup. So if we were trying to give you 1 cup, and then the for the water you're going to want um, three. You're going to want 3 cups of water. Okay, so 1 cup of fruit juice, 3 cups of water, and 1 gram of salt. And grams are different. So let me give you the grams for salt. And I didn't do this out earlier, so give me a second. So let me get that out for you. So 1 gram is going to be about 0.03, and that's probably less than a quarter, about an eighth of a teaspoon. Let me get that for you to make sure you guys have that correct. And I should have did that earlier, so I apologize. So, so 1 gram of salt. Let me see. So I can tell you that because it's not going to be a full teaspoon. It's not even going to be a teaspoon. It's like it's not even a teaspoon. I don't even know. I have these little bitty measuring spoons that are like a dash and so on and so forth. That's what you're going to want to use, is like a dash of salt. So you're going to want to use like a dash of salt to that. So it's not a lot of salt. So it's not even a teaspoon. It's like a dash, a pinch. I have a measuring set of measuring spoons. It's like a pinch, a dash, and all of that. And you're going to just want to do a pinch of salt in there. So, or if you have a scale and you measure, you can do 1 gram. So again, can electrolyte imbalance kill you? What's the determination? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Because the heart palpitations are enough. If you don't have your heart beating right, that can lead to heart attack, and then that can lead to death. So, yeah, you want to keep your electrolytes balanced, and you want to keep your all of your electrolytes balanced, and you want to eat the proper diet to keep that going for yourself. Um, you if you're doing keto, which I know a lot of people were, start by if you're doing that, then you want to make sure that you do an electrolyte supplement at the start of keto, when you start keto, so that you don't get to the imbalances. You want to restore, you want to keep it up there, and then you want to restore it. So, and I could tell you how much, we could go into how much you need, how much electrolytes you need, but it's different for everybody because it depends on your body, it depends on your weight. But there is a average, there are averages for each one of those, and that's based on the USDA pyramid, the food pyramid. It talks about that. So there are daily guidelines for what you need, but still it's going to be basically dependent on where you at and what your body needs. So you want to just get within the range. So like for potassium, it's a minimum of 1,600 to 2,000 milligrams of potassium daily. But again, that depends on your diet. So you can't really be specific. I can't really be specific to that. How much sodium you need is, again, it's going to be dependent on your diet. And if you're on a sodium restricted diet, how much magnesium you need, it depends. So there are things that where we can't really be specific about that. And also, you want to be careful if you are regulating your blood sugar, you're watching your blood sugar. Magnesium is involved in blood sugar regulation, so it's important that your levels are sufficient because that can lead to other problems down the road. So, you know, again, I want to leave you with some foods where you can get your electrolytes. So, we're going to go quickly. If you're trying to get potassium, I already said that. You can get it in avocados, um, bananas. But if you're doing like, if you're trying to do like a low carb type of diet, Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, zucchini, pumpkin seeds, kale, leafy greens, basically, salmon, and coconut water. Um, but coconut water, if you're watching your sugars, you want to be careful with that because it does have little. It has some sugar in it. Salt that occurs naturally. You can do like eggs, lean meats. If you can do sea vegetables like nori or kelp, something like that. Not me, but you, if you can. Cucumbers. Oh, I love cucumbers. So cucumbers would be great. Celery, and salted nuts. So that's if you need some sodium, and to get sodium into your diet. And normally we get that. Again, we can get that easily in our food, in our seasonings, and stuff like that. Magnesium. Again, avocados, leafy greens, Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds, cashew nuts, seafood like salmon, mackerel, and tuna, and raw cacao, just raw cacao. So that's how you can get those three basic electrolytes and get those back into your body. So whether it's firing your muscles for contraction or maintaining a delicate pH balance, or sustaining the activity of your enzymes, or supporting the acid base and buffer systems and all of that, electrolytes are crucial, absolutely crucial, and fundamental to bodily functions. So, yes, electrolyte imbalance can kill you. So stay hydrated, everybody. Keep your electrolytes up. Oh, look at my neck, it's crooked. Keep your electrolytes up. Make sure you drink plenty of water, 8 glasses per day. And if you feel like that you are experiencing any of these type of things, be sure check with your doctor, get you and start eating the proper foods that will help to regulate your electrolytes and get you back in balance. All right. Well, that's it for today. I know I went a little long there, but thank you so much for tuning in. And what do I have to say? I think the only thing I have to say is peace and blessings. Well, that's it for today's broadcast. Want to thank you all for tuning in. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you like this type of content. Also, comment and subscribe to all of our social medias. Peace and blessings.